Welcome, everybody, to WagerTalk Today. I'm Lawrence Presman. You are watching the best daily sports betting show on the planet. If you have never seen this show, stay with us. We are a bunch of old white guys that like to bet hard-earned money on sports, and you can participate with us. Well, one of the oldest and whitest of all the guys are joining us right off the bat, Ross Benjamin. He's going to talk about Auburn versus Texas A&M. This is an ESPN game. He's also going to look at BYU against Iowa State, another ESPN game, and he's going to tell you exactly how to bet the Warriors versus the Knicks after that poll, Motty. Guys, this is our cricket guy. He is unbelievable. Every Tuesday over the last few weeks, he has been on the show. He's given out cricket bets. They have all won. Andy Lang joining us after that. He's got some prop bets for us. We got a big slate of NHL games. I'm going to take apart every single one of them for you, and we're going to end the show with the great, the wonderful, and the amazing Gianni The Greek. Ross Benjamin wearing my favorite color, burnt orange. How are you, my friend? Welcome to this
Glad
show.
To see you, Prez. And, thanks for that, the whitest of all. You always make reference to my age, but hey, I'm still here, brother.
Hey, brother, I'm just saying you're the oldest of them all. That doesn't mean you're old.
Yeah.
I mean, you are, let's be honest, but that just makes you very wise. And as Ronald Reagan said against Michael Dukakis many years ago, don't hold it against my opponent for being so young and inexperienced. Right?
Yeah, but no, I'm looking at you and I'm looking at my hair, and it's seems to me you're a little whiter than me, but that's okay.
Oh, so we're going to go there, are we, Baldy? Okay, Ross.
Yeah.
Auburn playing Texas A&M tonight. This is on ESPN. This will be a highly watched and highly anticipated game. Everybody wants to know how to bet it, especially me. Take us through betting this game.
Well, I'm going to look at the total, which is currently 149. The Auburn Tigers have scored 80-plus points in 9 of their last 10 games. Auburn's also played 3-0 to the over in their last 3 with a combined 168.7 points scored per contest. The Tigers in their last 5 averaging 88.6 points per game, shooting 48%, 37% from beyond the three-point line, and 77% from the free throw line. In those 5 games, had a combined 57 free throw attempts. If Auburn does have a weakness, Prez, it's defensively, as they play very aggressively and they send teams to the free throw line numerous times. They've allowed 28 free throw attempts per game over those last 5. They've also had 29 free throw attempts over those last 5. Texas A&M, 3-0 to the over in their last 3, despite the fact they shot less than 40% in all 3 of those games. In those contests, they averaged 158.3 points per game. A&M's three-point defense in their last 5, they're allowing opponents to shoot 40.8% from long distance, and they're allowing 11 makes per game. And that spells trouble against a team like Auburn who could shoot the 3. And their last 5 games, in terms of A&M, I mentioned free throw attempts regarding Auburn. Well, the last 5 games for A&M, there's been a combined 46 free throw attempts. And like I've said time and time again on our show, that when you're looking at college basketball totals, you have to pay attention to free throw attempts and free throw percentage. Look for a physical game, a parade to the free throw line here at Prez. A&M season resume shows they're not a good. They're a good defensive team, not very good offensively, but they're going to be hard-pressed to keep this dynamic Auburn team under 80 points tonight. I'm going to go with Auburn and A&M over the total of 149.
That makes a lot of sense to me. Ross Benjamin joining us, one of the best handicappers alive. and a really good guy with a great sense of humor. Ross, let's turn our attention to BYU. Now, this team has won 6 straight games, and handily, mind you. The Arizona game was the only one close. They won by 1. Otherwise, they are blowing out their competition, and here they are at plus 9.5 against an Iowa State team that, although is 9 in the country, are reeling a bit. Sure, they beat Arizona, but they did lose to Oak State. They lost to Houston, which is no shame in that. But this Iowa State team, minus 9.5, and they are, they're not some kind of ATS juggernaut by any stretch. Where are you going in this game?
Yeah, I'm going to stay away from the side, Prez. Iowa State did have that rough stretch, as you just alluded to, but they were playing without their number 2 and number 3 top scorers in a couple of those games. So I'm going to give them a pass in that regard. This is one I went in, and everything you just said is everything I was thinking when I looked at this line, and I said,
Yep.
How could BYU be such a large underdog? Well, and then you look at the fact that BYU is getting a lot of action here, and they went from an opening number to the current number, which is raised another point to 9.5. So I'm staying away from the side. Auburn this is a BYU team, over their last 5 games, averaging 87 points per game. They're number 2 in offensive efficiency during Big 12 play. They're number 2 in three-point shooting during Big 12 play at 37.8%. And even more noteworthy when it comes to their three-point shooting, 47.8% of their field goal attempts are threes. And to hit those shots at such a high rate, it takes on extra meaning. Again, something you should look at. Some teams are hitting 40% or more from 3 over a 5-game period, yet 25 or 30% of their shots are threes. This is the polar opposite. The Cougars aren't a very good defensive team by any stretch of the imagination. Iowa State has been scoring 79 points or more in each of their last 4 at home. I'm going to go with this game to go over the total of 150, Prez.
Ross Benjamin joining us. Ross, it is $5 Tuesday. Every Tuesday we have Customer Appreciation Day. Each handicapper takes their best play. They sell it for $5. It is a very, very successful promotion. Many people take advantage of that. And it's really a great way to see that what guys do. I mean, Ross writes analysis with his picks, so you guys can go buy Ross's $5 play and get his analysis. Ross, what do you have going with the clients tonight?
Yeah, I got an NBA 4-star or 4%, top play. And my NBA Prez has been on fire since last March. I'm 36-21 with my last 57 in the NBA. That's 63%. Going back to March 26th of 2024, 167, 60% with my NBA premium plays, a net profit of $7,190 during that course of time. And that's number 1 in money earned and number 1 in win percentage at WagerTalk. Again, through that course of time. I want to be specific in that regard. So NBA 4%. Top play right now, $5 at WagerTalk. You can't beat that with a stick. And I just gave you every reason why you should invest that small amount with me tonight. Invest that small amount to make a large amount. March Madness is also upon us. 22-14 last year during the NCAA tournament, 61%, net profit of $2,800. And I mentioned those 4%. That 4% top play for $5 in the NBA tonight, 27-16, 63% with my last 43 4% top plays. So a lot to like about that $5 pick tonight, Prez.
Yes, Ross Benjamin, everyone. I want to welcome everybody into the chat room. Johnny Detroit, I love when you're watching me perform. Guys, hit that like button if you don't mind, and please subscribe to our channel. Greatly appreciated. Michael Hibbs, 18-6 last night. So, Michael, that's 2 things stand out to me. 1, way to frickin' go. 2, what? You found 24 bets last night? That's insane. Anyway, way to go, dude. I'm really proud of you. I went 3-1 last night. I feel like I didn't do enough after that 18-6. Sean Alvarez, B Daddy, Javier, Bill, Waj, FB, love having you guys with us. Thanks so much. It really means the world to me when you guys join us on a daily basis in this chat room. Ross, before we get into the NBA, I want to talk about something Jake Korach writes in the chat room right now, because it's a very interesting topic. Let's go back to the Auburn game for a second. So you like Auburn ATS and you like the over?
No, I just like the over.
You just like
to go over the total. Yeah.
Yeah, because Jake wrote, why not take Auburn team total over? So why do you like the over in that game versus the Auburn team total, given that you based a lot of that handicap on the concept of Auburn going over 80 or getting 280?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. Auburn's total is 85.5 the last I looked. Again, they've been scoring 80 plus. I believe I said in 9 of their last 10 or something along the line that lines. But in any event, I want to leave the door open. So if they don't reach that 86-point plateau and they fall below that, I still have an opportunity to go over the total based on Iowa State still having, Iowa State still having scored 79 plus in their last 4 at home. So there's a distinct possibility that Auburn can score less than 85.5. The game could still go over, and Iowa State can cover possibly too as well. So that there's a lot of. Again, I'm talking BYU on that. I'm sorry. The Auburn game, yes, the same reasoning.
Okay,
where I was going with that, So
again, I caught you off guard. Totally reasonable. By the way, I'm freezing my ass off. Just wanted to make mention of that. I'm wearing like a fleece sweater. It's so bloody cold here, Ross.
Let me justify that real quickly again. Okay, again, we're talking about an Auburn team total of 85.5. They have scored 80 points or more in 9 of the last 10. A&M has gone over to 20. Again, A&M's at home. They're getting a sizable number. They're reeling right now. I'm just not convinced. I like to leave the door open for the fact this game could still go over, and Auburn might possibly stay under that total 85.5 and also not cover the game at that sizable number. So that's my reasoning. Sorry for the
Ross, I caught you off guard. David Haverly, when are we going to see more Who's Who segments that Teddy did? Don't even know what the hell you're talking about, Michael. I literally did the show with Teddy for 4 years. I don't remember any Who's Who segments. So maybe you want to explain what you're talking about and we can try get that. I don't know. Anyway, Ross, let's move on. We got an NBA slate tonight. We got Golden State on the road playing the New York Knicks, and this Golden State team is putting it together right now. That is for sure. They've won 6 of 7. They've won 8 of 10, and they're covering as well. Now they are plus 4.5 against the New York Knicks team that's missing Towns. The New York Knicks are rolling too. They've won 3 straight. They beat Miami. They beat Memphis. They beat Philly. All shitty teams, but hey, you play who's in front of you. How do we bet this game?
Yeah, well, Golden State is playing with no rest as they played at Charlotte last night. It'll be their 3rd road game in 4 days and 6th road game in 8 days. So it's the end of a road trip. It's a grind, and now they're playing a quality opponent. Big difference between playing at Charlotte last night and playing at Madison Square Garden in New York. Golden State there recently has not done a great job of defending the 3. Now, I don't count last night's game because Charlotte can't put the ball in the ocean in most nights. They're going into that game last night. They had been allowing opponents to shoot 39% from beyond the 3-point line. And that's problematic against a team like the Knicks, who at home this year average 119 points per game, shoot 49%, 37.2% from beyond the three-point line. So there's a lot to like here in terms of the Knicks. Golden State's getting a little bit of action here, yet this line has gone up to 4.5. A small reverse there, Prez, and we all know what that means and what that may indicate. But in any stretch of the imagination, without that even being considered, I like the New York Knicks here, lay the points at home against a tired Golden State team.
Boom! Well, Ross, thank you, my brother. You've promoted Guys Get his $5 play. I cannot thank you enough for joining us. Outstanding work, Ross Benjamin, everyone. We still got so much more. We got our cricket guy, Paul Motty, joining us soon. Andy Lang as well. I'll take apart every NHL game of the board. And, of course, we have Gianni The Greek. Shout out to Ross Benjamin. Okay, so I understand what the question was. Where are you going to do the who's who? You mean behind the bettor? Teddy did one. Kelly did one. It was so fun to watch. Check that out. It's called Behind the Bettor. And yeah, I'm in. So head office, if you want me to do a Behind the Bettor, let's go. Send me the questions. I'm happy to do it. That sounds awesome and fun. So Johnny Detroit writes, I'm an absent owner. What is he writing? Steve Wonder seen what he meant. Goof. Okay, Steve. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about. But Johnny, I'm in. And I'm not as absent an owner as, well, yes, I am. But I wasn't when we started this company, Johnny. I worked my butt off at the beginning, brother. Now I'm an old man. I'm a bit of an absent owner, okay, but I am totally in for Behind the Bettor. So you organize it, I'll do it. It'll be my pleasure. I'll do it at the gym. Anyway, Paul Motty joining us, everyone. Paul Motty, how are you, brother? I love it. This is a regular occurrence now.
I know, I'm loving it. So my profile just went live today and the packages just went up. So we're putting cricket bets out from today and snooker, and hopefully this is going to be a regular Tuesday thing. We can discuss the world of cricket.
Absolutely. So right off the bat, we're going to have some actionable betting information coming your way, everybody. But I do want to tell you guys, Paul Motty is now officially a handicapper over at WagerTalk.com. You will be handicapping cricket and a sport called snooker. I'm familiar with snooker. I'm sure it's the same. What else will you be selling over at WagerTalk?
They're my main two. Cricket is normally that is on every day. There's multiple games every day. We're actually in a quiet week. We'll get into that because it's a big week, semis and final. We'll get into that shortly. And snooker. I'm also going to do a bit of golf. I'm going to do some free picks on the PGA Tour, on the outright, and doing some 18-hole matchups as well. And when events come around, I'll do some politics when we have some elections, but there's not that much going on right now. It's more speciality stuff. So for now, it's really cricket and snooker.
Okay, so we're in the semifinals of cricket. Let's hear some bets.
Well, so let's just recap. It's gone perfectly so far. I said at the start, India-South Africa final. India made the final today quite easily against Australia. South Africa in the second semi tomorrow against New Zealand. Afghanistan landed a nice winner for us last week at 11-4. They're out, but they did us proud in that game. So tomorrow's game, New Zealand-South Africa. Hard game to call. I think the market marginally prefers South Africa. Whilst I'm on them for the title, I would say that really is a 50-50 game. And I think that the big angle there really is, if you're going to bet in running, is wait till the second innings and bat the team bat in second. I think there's quite a considerable advantage at Lahore for the team batting second because you're getting a lot of dew in the afternoon that makes it harder to bowl. The main characteristic we've seen at that ground, apart from that, is runs galore. First game was 356, beat 352. And the team that got the 356 chase in Australia were in trouble. They still got there. In the second match was Afghanistan beat England 325, 317. Again, when Afghanistan posted their 325, they were in trouble. So it wasn't a particularly great total. Now, I've put up plus 200 on both teams to score 300 here. So it's won in both games in the tournament so far at Lahore. It won in the final warm-up game here between Pakistan and South Africa. Sorry, New Zealand and South Africa. So I think really the par line here for the first innings is 320. Now, in addition to that, I want to just say that, I'm going to be writing a few previews, few explainers about cricket. So, because obviously I appreciate not everyone outside of Britain follows the sport, and we need to know about all the different formats, the different bets you can have, how to play the different markets, different strategies. And one thing I would say is that with cricket, the very, very best value comes in running. Because the game changes so dramatically at that point, and all the bookies now are doing bets on total runs in running. They bet on the result in running. They bet on next man out. So that's something we've got to cover. And as I say, one bit of advice for tomorrow is if the team batting second are chasing, say, less than 320, I would be pretty confident they'll get it in those conditions.
Yep.
Then moving forward. Sorry, but
No, keep going. Keep going, brother. I don't have much to add here. I'm not a cricket betting machine by any sense, but I do know that the first time you were on here, you told us this literally, you predicted this final. So that was impressive. But no, keep going, Paul, and then we'll get into, we got a great promo for you as well we'll talk about.
Okay, so let's look forward to the final, which we know will be in Dubai. It will be between India and the winner of tomorrow's game, New Zealand and South Africa. Now,
what did you? Yep.
Sorry, Carrot, what was that?
Johnny just wrote you're going to have a one-page cheat sheet up soon on how to bet cricket. That's going to be really, really, really interesting. After this tournament, how much cricket is there? I know that there's three different types of crickets. You got the T20, the T50, and Test. Are you going to be handicapping all three different forms of cricket? And is it basically a daily sport?
Yes, usually it is. This is a big international tournament, so all of the domestic competitions have stopped for a few weeks for it. But we've got the highlight of the season starting in less than 3 weeks now, which is the Indian Premier League. That's on every day for 2 months. There'll be at least one game per day for 2 months. And bizarrely, clashing with it, normally it would be at a different time, but because of this Champions Trophy, they're going to clash. You've got the Pakistan Super League, which is another T20 competition. So you're actually going to have, in the middle of that 2-month period, you'll have 3 matches a day, maybe 4 matches a day.
Oh, brilliant. Brilliant.
Yeah. And then when that ends, you then move into the Test season. And really, snooker cricket is on virtually every day of the year. And of the games I cover, there's usually at least one. I don't cover women's cricket, but that is a betting contest. That's on every day. I don't cover the kind of lower level domestic tournaments, like I don't do the English county game much, apart from the one big tournament we have, the 100. But these are secondary because there's always an international or a big domestic franchise tournament going on.
Right.
So that Indian Premier League is going to be huge, and I've got a free pick on that I've just put up, which is a very, very confident bet. I've had this in mind for a couple of months. Sunrisers Hyderabad. They're plus 600 to win. So
wow.
This is a 10-team tournament, and the way the betting is, you would think it was really close, like anyone can win. It just isn't like that. Franchise cricket is not like that. There is quite a clear goal. T20 cricket is not a random event. Now, you take Sunrisers, the second favourites at plus 600. This team finished second last year, and they did so after making a whole series of big changes to their squad, which all of us really who were monitoring were saying it's too early for them. They've got potential, but it's going to take time for that to gel. And they end up finishing second. And they still had some really clear weaknesses, like their bowlers weren't that strong. They lacked any truly world-class Indian bowlers, which is critical because you can only play 4 overseas players in each game, so you've got to have a strong Indian team. And they've bought brilliantly over the winter, absolutely brilliantly. They've bought Mohammad Shami, who's the second best Indian strike bowler. They lacked a world-class spinner. They've got Adam Zampa from Australia. They've bought Kamindu Mendis, a world-class all-rounder. They've bought Ishan Kishan, another top Indian batsman. To me, they've got the perfect.
Paul, we got to cut this off. I am sorry, bro. We just got 2 more guests to come. I love having you on here. I love talking cricket. We have a promo to give out. You are a new handicapper at this website, at WagerTalk. Guys, if you want some really easy money, Paul Motty in cricket is the way to go. We have a full year subscription up for him. It's $599. It's a full year subscription. It is going to make you money. Paul, I got to let you go. I cannot thank you enough. Your one page, How to Bet Cricket, when will it be up for everybody?
Within the week.
Perfect. Paul, love you, bro. I got to get Andy Lang on here. Andy Lang!
How are you?
That we're wearing that sweater of yours. I've never seen that one before. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing great. I'm trying to get the chat to submit questions for this get to know the better thing, and the chat's not doing a very good job.
So I just spoke. You know what? It is what it is. I just spoke to Johnny. I said I'm good to film a behind the better, and Johnny said we're doing them in Vegas. I will be in Vegas on April 22nd. So I will do a behind the better segment on April 22nd. It will be awesome. You can go and collect any questions you want.
Can I do mine just in a really can I do mine in just a really small rundown town in Indiana?
Why don't you just do it right now? Go.
I'll go to Mooresville. Mooresville is a good one. Linton, Indiana. There's a good one. I'll do it out in front of all the abandoned houses.
Yeah, maybe you can drive to Scranton, Pennsylvania. I'd like you to do it from there. You know, the only reason I know Scranton, Pennsylvania is it's in a song. Name the song, everybody. Scranton, Pennsylvania. Name the song.
I don't even know this one.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to tell you guys it yet. Andy, you got some prop bets for us. Let's get into some actionable betting information. NBA tonight, you got a bet for us on Draymond Green. What is it?
Yeah, these teams that made trades at the trade deadline seem to just have found new life. The Lakers definitely, and it looks like Golden State has. And a guy that's been playing really well since the trade has actually been Draymond Green, and we're going to take him over 9.5 points. He's over in 7 out of the last 8 games, 5 straight. What I love here, Prez, is he's getting 11.6 shot attempts in the last 5 games. He's making 5 field goals per game, and he's adding in 3 free throws per game. That's an average of 14 points per game. So this line is at 9.5. Short rest for Golden State, but at this time of year, it's kind of all hands on deck. I don't think they can really save very many people, if that makes sense. So I really like Draymond Green over 9.5 points. He's been playing well. Steph looks really happy. Jimmy Butler looks really happy. Draymond looks like he's found new life. So let's keep riding Draymond Green over his points.
Andy Lang, Steve Stamkos, NHL. He plays for Nashville. They're playing Boston tonight. I'll give my thoughts out on that game and my every game on the board breakdown shortly. Horrible signing. Tampa Bay obviously knew something. Nashville didn't. What is Steve Stamkos not going to do tonight?
Yeah, this was one of those where I don't think Nashville asked, like, why are they getting rid of Stamkos? We're going to play him to not have a point tonight. No points in the last 13 games. Prez, you have to go back to November of 2023 to find the last time Stamkos has even scored a point against Boston. He's dipped below 2 shots on goal per game in his last 10 games. And Prez, you know, Nashville is just kind of like falling apart here. They have one game in the last 6 where they've scored over 2 goals.
Yeah.
They're 3-10 their last 13 games. So you're in a good spot if you're fading Nashville and the Nashville players. So we'll continue to do that tonight.
Yeah, I mean, not only does Nashville have to get a goal for Stamkos to get a point, which in and of itself is almost impossible, but Stamkos, not only does he have to be on the ice, he has to be one of the 3 guys that touched that damn puck. Horrible, horrible signing. Nashville is a mess. That's a whole different story. The golf season has started. I just finished full swing. It was a lot of fun. Joachim Niemann, he's playing in the Hong Kong tournament. It's a live tournament. I don't understand how live is still going on, but that's their business. How do we bet this guy at this tournament?
I'm actually going to push back a little bit on how is Liv still going on. Liv is having a little bit of a surge here, and so is TGL, and it's because the PGA Tour cannot get their you-know-what together. I'm actually excited about Liv this week and this year. It's very bettable. We've cashed on Liv already, and we're going to take Joachim Niemann to finish in the top 10 at the Liv event Hong Kong. This starts at, I'm on Eastern time, so it's like 11:15 p.m. Thursday night. Prez, he finished 4th here last year. He won the last Liv event, and he has 11 top 10s in the last 16 Liv events. This Liv field sucks. Just it's bad. It's old guys way past their prime. There's only a few guys who are consistent every week. John Rahm is one of them. Tyrrell Hatton. Even Tyrrell Hatton is kind of thrown in the towel. This was a guy that was top 10 in majors. He's kind of thrown. Joachim Niemann comes to play every single week. This is only minus 150. I can't believe it. Like I said, he finished 4th here last year. He won the last Liv event. You can ride Joachim Niemann top 10s all year.
There we go. Andy Lang, are you kidding me, brother? Every day it gets better with you. Tell us about your runs and what do you got going for the clients and what's happening on Customer Appreciation Tuesday.
$5 plays in the NHL tonight. Nice little 23-12 run. There's a lot. I feel like NHL is more bettable tonight than NBA. So $5 play went with an NHL best bet. We do have a 5% best bet that's up. It is the last day for our 30-day special. You get $100 off. Listen, guys, we keep talking about long-term. Last 30 days, the Dow Jones is down 5%. We're up 31%. We treat our bankrolls like a business. This is passive income. We were up 128 units last year. We were up 93 units the year before. Our plays are absolutely recession-proof. Doesn't matter what's going on in the stock market. It's one of my favorite things about this business. You have a sports bet, you either win or you lose, and we've been winning a lot. If you want to start your journey on building your bankrolls, take advantage of the special, WT.buzz/AL. We're not firing off huge plays on nationally televised games. These are very smart investments on our part. We've got long-term, we've got short-term. WT.buzz/AL, $100 for 30 days. It's a very, very wise investment, guys. This can be your passive income. We've been doing this for a long, long time. Good luck to everybody today.
Andy Lang, outstanding segment. We got Gianni the Greek still to come, and we got a lot of NHL games to take apart. Let's get to it. Boston playing Nashville tonight. Boston is only minus 130 on the money line here. And I say only because I understand this Boston team is not doing well at all. And I get that they have injuries, but man, they're playing Nashville. And Nashville simply cannot get out of their own way. This Nashville team has been horrible from the start to the end. They have lost 2 games in a row, 4 of their last 5. They scored 0 against the Rangers last night. They're in a back-to-back environment. I am absolutely baffled by this line. Take Boston minus 130. Love that bet. Columbus playing Tampa Bay. Listen, tough spot for Tampa Bay here. They just came off of a loss against Florida last night. They're in a back-to-back environment. They're playing a well-rested Columbus team, and a Columbus team that is rolling right now. With that said, this Tampa Bay team won 8 straight before their loss last night. I don't want to get in the way of them. I'm going to look to take over the total in this game, and it's really indicative of the fact that this Columbus team just keeps scoring. This Columbus team has put up 21 goals in their last 4 games. I know Tampa Bay is playing well defensively, but Columbus scores on anybody, and Tampa Bay is scoring too. Outside of the one against Florida, they've put up 3+ in every game in their last 8 prior. Take over the total in the Columbus-Tampa Bay game. Before we get into the rest of the games, I want to make mention that it is Customer Appreciation Tuesday. I've got a $5 play up for my clients tonight. This is a must-bet play. I won my NHL again last night. I've now won 3 in a row. 7 of my last 9. I'm on a 33-16 NHL run. So that's short-term 3-0, medium-term 7-2, long-term 33-6. And on the season, I'm up double-digit profit and the number 1 most profitable NHL expert at WagerTalk. I have a 4% play up tonight. 90% of my plays are 3% or less. This is a big play. It's a must-bet play, and I'm also on an 8-2 run in these plays. Get my hockey play tonight, guys, please. Calgary playing Philadelphia. I like the under in this game, guys. The bottom line here is Calgary is really, really struggling to score. This Calgary team scored 1 against Carolina. Before that, they put up 0-0. That's right. They've scored 1 goal in their last 3 games. And they have not scored more than 3 goals in 10 straight games. Defensively, they're playing well. They have not allowed more than 3 goals in 6 straight. They've allowed 2 or less in 3 of their last 6. And Carolina is a defensive, Philadelphia is a team that wants to play defensively. They've allowed 1 goal twice in their last 3. Take under the total in Calgary and Philadelphia. Carolina and Detroit, I'd like to take Detroit here. It's the right spot to take them, but I prefer the over in this game. You can get 6s out there in some books. At 6.5, I'm passing. At 6, I like over the total. Buffalo playing San Jose tonight. I like Buffalo in regulation here, guys. San Jose just won a game last night. They won in overtime against the Leafs. I think it's like one of those, they let it all out. They cheered, they partied, they got drunk, they celebrated. Now it's back to their old ways of losing. Take Buffalo in regulation. Winnipeg playing the Islanders tonight. I like over the total in this game, but I like it very, very slight. This game is basically a pass for me. Dallas and New Jersey. I like the over in this game. Dallas is scoring 5-6 goals every game they play right now. And I know Jack Hughes is out, but New Jersey can get us too. I like Dallas -150, and I like over 6. Colorado and Pittsburgh. I take Pittsburgh over every game they play. I also like Colorado -1.5 goals here, but I prefer the over. Edmonton and Anaheim. I like the over in this game a lot. If you can get a 6 especially, but even at 6.5, I think we get a high-scoring game. And Seattle at Minnesota. I like Minnesota as a +108 dog. That's it for every game on the board. Make sure to bet my hockey all the time. I have a promo code for you guys. I just was given to me literally 1 minute ago. Prez 100. Take $100 off of the rest of my NHL all the way to mid-end of June. So get my NHL season, take $100 off it, use the promo code Prez100. Let's all bet NHL together. Let's all win together. Thank you for watching. Gianni The Greek joining us. How are you, my friend?
Never better, Prez. But I had to lose a night yesterday. It's the difficulty of some of those long-term is going to be fine. But when you're trying to be low volume, like overall, the accounts had a winning day. When I logged in today, we were plus money. But what I was able to narrow down, we did not turn a profit. We ended up splitting in tennis, which cost us big because one of the juice Chalky ones lost. The free ones I gave out here, 4 of them, all 4 dogs went 2-2. So if you followed, you made a little bit of money yesterday. And that's the luxury of having access to all this information. But again, it's just too hard for recreational bettors and even the serious bettors that I work with to just be at their computer and fire all day long. So I narrow it down. Fortunately, we're still up for 2025, still up for college basketball 2025, and just back to the grind today. I already released a lot, Prez. I gave out 5 MMA plays today for UFC 313 because I'm doing a UFC show tomorrow, doing a UFC podcast tomorrow night, doing another UFC show on Thursday. So I dug into this card so much over the last 2 days. I didn't want the lines to get too much ahead of us. So I fired 5 plays already, 2 4%, 2 3%, and a 5% big move in the UFC over the last 365 days. I think I'm up over 45 units on them, 73%, 16-6 with a 40% ROI. So you want to get that 5% for sure before those lines move. And 2 4% in college basketball already. One of them is up for $5. I really like this play. Reminds me of Saturday's 5% with Gonzaga. Hopefully we come ahead after all the dust settles. So excited for what's ahead tonight and these next few days, brother.
I'm excited for you. I do got to stop the show for a second and mention Ronald Kabang, Handicapper. He writes, I got to hop on WagerTalk Today sometime soon. He's got a 5% play available at WagerTalk. It's the $5 play. He is our number 1 all-time handicapper with 5% plays, both win percentage and ROI. There you go, my brother. Ronald,
Good
next
man.
time, just DM me, Slack me, let me know. And I'm happy to promote you, brother. You're part of the family, you're part of the team, and you're the number 1 guy in 5% plays. So, yeah. Guys, $5 Tuesday. Buy Gianni's play, buy Ronald's play, buy my play. Let's go. Okay, Gianni, let's start with, do you have any NHL questions for me?
No, big board tonight, and looking through it, nothing really jumped out at me. We didn't bet anything. I was going to ask you about the Boston-Nashville only because I see nothing but one-sided money on Boston. And usually, you get that with the favorite. When you see a minus 170, I'm not surprised to see 80, 90% of the tickets and the money on the minus 180, 200. But when you have around that, anywhere below that 140 range, 130 range, and you got the same exact thing, 9 out of 10 tickets, 90% of the money, that tends to stick out at me, especially if the line isn't reflecting that. Like if the books haven't shown that money respect, doesn't mean that it's, faded, but always makes me question, why are they not respecting any of that money and willing to take that kind of risk? Now, you could do that because you have a edge over every bettor because of the hold, but still, those kind of stick out to me. Like real quickly, Edmonton, Colorado, no surprise. Almost 100% of the monies and the tickets are on those two. But I can't understand why such confidence in Boston and why the line don't reflect it.
Yeah, and it's strange to me, Gianni, because I don't see anything other than Boston as a potential pick in that game. And I think you can ultimately fade Nashville from now till the end of the year and make money blind. So, and on top of it, Nashville's on a back-to-back. Boston's well-rested. Boston is in must-win mode. And I understand that doesn't mean you should bet a team that's in must-win mode, but this is a veteran team that understands how to win and has a winning culture over the last 10 years. I'm not going to sit there and say, Nashville, put your house on Boston, but Boston seems to be the play for me. So
it did get bet up from 110, but when it got to 135, it came back down. So obviously, probably around that 120 range, Boston's probably the side. So if you shop or wait a little bit, at least from the line move, it got even to 140 at one point before coming back down. So it's going to be interesting to see how that game finishes.
Talk to me about hoops, brother.
Oh, no, I think I was watching baseball. We got nothing but college basketball. The only NBA game bet that we made was the under in Milwaukee, Atlanta. But that number is so long gone. Obviously, players aren't playing because that one moved like 7, 8, 9 points. Here's what we got in the college basketball. slate tonight. We bet Villanova at -4 and on the money line. That's why you're looking at 5, some 5.5s out there as well. I'm going to give out a premium play that I released already to subscribers because I'm seeing that line starting to drop. And if you agree with me, I don't want you to wait. And that's North Carolina and Virginia Tech under. We went under 151, under 150, and all the way down to 49.5, under 149.5 in that North Carolina Virginia Tech game. I think there's a lot of recency bias. If you look at the scoring for both these teams off their last game, I think that's why you're being it's higher than I think it should have been. I already had that circled when these guys came in on it early this morning. I released that one to subscribers. A couple more for you that I haven't gotten down on yet with subscribers. Bet them already for the groups that gave them to me. 628 Georgia Tech minus the 8.5. 603 over 156. Forgive me, LSU and Kentucky. 658 Utah minus the 3. 630, 624 Purdue minus 10.5. 646 Oregon minus the 6. And here's another total for you in that Patriot League first round. Actually, it's the side, Loyola Maryland, 306, 562. Loyola Maryland minus 1.5, -2 in the opening round of March Madness. So it's going to be a busy couple days. Oh, here was that total in the Horizon League first round. 673 over 138.5, 139, Detroit and Northern Kentucky. So it's going to get busy the next couple weeks, brother, with conference tournaments. And then, of course, the big dance. Can't wait for that.
Yeah, that's starting soon. Gianni the Greek, everyone. So, Gianni, we got a promo for you, $999 for a full year. Is that like legit? Because that's a $2,000 package.
And not only that, you get the blackjack for free. I told Johnny, do that up until conference tournaments because I'm very confident in the college basketball right now and what I have prepared for my guys in baseball. I don't want anyone to miss this baseball season coming off of last year's losing baseball season and losing 2024. So I said, dude, I want to repay those guys that put their trust in me. Give them the blackjack for free if they sign up for the year and make that commitment. It's what are you paying, 20-something bucks a week? To get the information every single day. I pay more than that for my line services. So I think it's a great deal. And like I said, we're going to start the blackjack next week, and you definitely don't want to miss that. That'll be one for you'll get a lot out of it, whether you're going to be an advantage blackjack player or not. You will learn a lot about the game and more or less, carries over to sports betting for sure.
Yeah, Gianni, I just got a Slack from Chris. Chris runs our YouTube, the content we put out on YouTube. And he's like, Prez, there's only 77 likes. And I'm like, I know. I don't understand.
It takes one second to go down there and do that, bro. That's just that's common courtesy. You wake up, you do this work, you bring all of us on. Seriously, again, even if you don't support, if you're watching it, it's just common courtesy, dude. Don't you believe in karma? And being kind, so kindness is then reflected on you. I don't know. I'm a big fan of that. Like anyone's work that I look at, and I do what I can to support it. I really do, because again, they're doing it at
if
their
you
time. You can be doing so many things. You're wealthy too. Like, your bullshit aside, you're a rich man. So like this is something you do because you enjoy it and want to do. You don't have to do this. And the fact that you're doing a show, forget about it. Take a like.
As was mentioned at the top of the show by our great Johnny Detroit, I'm a absent owner. And yet here I am every single day doing this show. So yeah, dude, it's like you go to a restaurant, they give you free food. You don't freaking tip the waiter. Oh my God.
Prez, I gave out a video on for MMA for Saturday, okay? Perfect example. It got over 10,000 views. I went 2-0 with a plus like 200 dog as one of those. It got 2 retweets. 2 retweets, dude, that's it.
Dude, you want
it, and less than 100 likes. 10,000 views, less than 100 likes, and that's going 2-0. It makes me not want to do it.
It's nuts. It's nuts. But more importantly, I had over 40 guys buy my Sunday NHL play, and it won like by 100 goals. 3 purchased on Monday. Okay. Should we end? Should we
You could
call
lead
it
a
a
horse
show?
to water, but you can't make them drink. That's what I say.
I love all of you guys regardless. And if you don't hit that thumbs up button, it's okay. We still are so appreciative that you take time out of your day to join us. Honestly, we can't thank you enough. We got a killer show lined up for tomorrow as well. It is Wednesday. Our show tomorrow will feature Nick Borman. He's going to talk the Arnold Palmer Invitational. Andy Lang, Pavlov's coming on to talk some soccer. And of course, we're going to end with the great Gianni The Greek like we always do. Gianni, any last thoughts before we call it a show? Gianni is gone. That's reasonable. He's a busy man, Daniel's son. On behalf of Gianni, Paul Motty, Andy Lang, and Ross Benjamin, Dan Alexander, and myself, thank you for watching. We will see you all tomorrow.